else.
It's a simple fact that you had all these game companies. For example, Purina. You know, people make the doggy food, Chuck Wagon. They had their own game company. That's how bad it
It was
was.
called
Hey,
Chase the Chuck Wagon.
who remembers Beat 'em and Eat 'em?
I do, but only because I'm a sicko.
Oh, I remember. I played that game. I've beaten it actually.
You've beaten it
Well,
and eaten it?
Yeah,
And eaten it?
well,
maybe.
people say the tipping point for the whole thing and the collapse was the Atari version of Pac-Man and the ET game.
No, it definitely contributed to it though.
It was the boiling point, but
It was the tipping.
it was a lot of little problems. Just the fact that there was just too many games and people got sick of them.
Yeah. I gotta be
especially
honest.
retailers.
I gotta be honest. I've always wondered what would have happened if Atari hadn't gone under, like hadn't had that crash, and Nintendo hadn't really come to America. I wonder what would have happened if it just, like I said, Atari was still.
Atari would probably still burn because they would still do stupid things.
No, but I
Here's
I
what
wonder.
Well, I'll go ahead and answer that for you in a couple of initials. What would have happened if Atari had stayed afloat? We would have had the Atari AVCS.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
We would have had the Atari Advanced Video Computer System. And it was going to be their next generation platform, but not really by Atari. It was by some fledgling company called Nintendo. Because they were originally looking to Atari to distribute the Famicom in the United States.
So pretty much, Nintendo and Atari would fuse together.
The problem was Nintendo took one look at what was going on regarding the gaming crash,
And backed out.
They were like, no.
They backed out. Yeah, it was. To
They-
be fair, it was a clusterfuck.
Pretty much, if the crash never happened and Atari didn't do their crazy shit, Nintendo and Atari would fuse together into one.
To be fair, I think Atari, they fought to the bitter fucking end.
I think that if the crash never happened, Nintendo probably would have became so strong that they would have probably swallowed Atari.
I thought it would be the other way around. And
It makes me wonder, like, what happens if they hadn't really made the jump they did in America and practically raised an entire generation.
You know what? Let's get a different
Part of
opinion.
me wonders, like,
Let's get a different opinion. Ninja, how's it going, man?
Alright, first off, your internet sucks for streaming right now.
Mine?
Yeah, you're breaking up every 5 seconds. I can't get a constant
he's
stream.
not. He's not. Oh wait.
Let me check OBS real quick.
I had this question.
It doesn't look like I'm dropping frames.
I had this question I asked Reese and everyone this, and I want to know what your thoughts are, Ninja. I wondered if the crash had never happened and Atari had stayed afloat, what would have happened to Nintendo? Would they have actually come to America and made the success that they did? You know what I mean? What would have happened if the crash hadn't happened, if they had stayed afloat?
That is a good question.
That's a question. I always wonder that. I'm like, what would have happened?
my theory is if depending on what Atari would have done at the time, I bet Nintendo would still be able to wheedle itself in if they stayed separate, because they would be the first ones in the 8-bit era. Nintendo.
My thing is, maybe
Probably
we-
have a chance to survive.
Well, the reason the NES was so successful, people forget this. They didn't market it as a game system. It was marketed as an entertainment system. That was one of the reasons it was so successful, was that specific detail that they put in.
True. And I also have a theory that certain companies like Sony and they would probably have a slightly harder time because there would be more competition in the forefront.
Really, I mean, at this point now, a console is an entertainment system. My PS4 has Netflix on it. I stream movies on it all the time. You know what I mean? Really, at this point, the term entertainment system is now the norm.
Yeah, but the way Microsoft went about it for the Xbox One is probably not the correct way to deal with it.
That shit was the funniest thing when that happened. I was just losing. I was laughing, like, really. I'm like, oh my god. And no, we will never forget that, because that was just too amazing to forget. It was.
Mention everything but the games.
Okay,
that
is my stream, by the way, Ninja, is it still skipping?
Hold on.
Okay, I'm going to talk for a couple seconds. Can the rest of you check as well, just to make sure that it is in fact my stream? OBS is telling me that there is no drop frames. That much I know. So
Here's the thing, though. I've been checking other streams right now. They're working just fine. Yours is the only one that was like just complete shit.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh. 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 Oh.
Reese's balls just dropped, people.
My balls have just dropped. I can't rhyme with dropped. Sorry.
Plopped.
Something plopped. Yeah, I was gonna say, and you beat me to it.
Locked. Damn it! This is all those years of listening to rap music for.
My balls had just dropped. My schlong had done hopped. The Hemi and the Jimmy and my poop had done plopped.
I remember. It was one of, you know what? It's weird because me and my friends were talking about. We were talking about this today. We brought up the fact that how many '90s companies tried to sell their garbage with rap music when that was becoming a thing.
Yep.
And we think back to all the awful promotion music that we remember that actually tried to sell it with like hippity hop rap music.
Oh yeah.
Sega. We looked up a few Sega ads and we were cringing like motherfuckers. We were.
Like the original Sega CD ads.
Oh. The game that they had with Marky Mark, well, at least before Mark Wahlberg decided not to use that name anymore.
He's like, I'm gonna be doing things. I need better.
Yeah,
I'm Mark Wahlberg. I will be the first superhero with a side part.
Yeah, most people forget he did do rap music for a while. And he was pretty awful.
So did John Cena.
A lot of them did. And hey, look, I know, some white people can rap. Most of them can't, but some of them can.
All right, next game.